Listen to this podcast now
on the Red Apple Podcast Network. The Leadership Thread with Dr. Peggy Polonis.
I'm Dr. Peggy Polonis. Join me on each episode where I unravel the story that shaped leaders, tracing the thread that led them where they are today. Because leadership isn't born in adulthood. And thank you once again for joining us on the Leadership Thread, education, ethics, and sustainability.
Download all of Red Apple Media's podcasts right now through your favorite podcast platform.
Listen, all you New Yorkers. Taxi.
Okay, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
Let's go to Glenn. Glenn in New York on the other side of midnight with Lionel.
Yeah, good morning. I know you're looking for evidence. You're not going to find hard evidence. But I tell everybody when I have these discussions, if you really want to know what's going on, there was an author called Zecharia Sitchin.
We already talked about him, yes. Anunnaki, and right?
And the Anunnaki. His books are where you really want to start.
Now, let me ask you a question.
Yes.
How do we know he's telling the truth?
Well, do you know? The only way you're going to really know if you knew him. I known him back in the days when he was alive.
I would hope so. Yeah.
But there are pieces of evidence. You have the Egyptian tablet that's divided into, I forgot what they call it now. It's divided into 3 sections.
What does that tell us about people from outer space or extraterrestrials?
The first section of the tablet tells all the kings that were pre-Egyptian.
Okay.
And they list their lives in czars. In other words, this king ruled for 20 czars. Right.
What is a czar? That's a unit of time, like an eon or a...
Unit of time.
Okay.
3,600 years equals 1 czar.
Okay.
Hard evidence, I haven't seen myself, but they say that in the museum in England, in the way on the bottom sections, they do have one of the skeletons of one of the princesses, and they will not show it.
Who were the princesses?
When they were here, it was a family that was here that came here and started. But you have to read the book to understand the whole thing. But I can tell you this: the only proof is when the Catholic Church for years refused to even talk with Zecharia Sitchin, and then they finally did. The head thinkers, the theologians of the church, they finally did meet with him. And after that meeting, the Catholic Church actually changed the Mass. Back in the 70s and 60s.
Changed it to what?
They used to say God created man, God created man. They changed it now to God created man's spirit. Because they know they know pretty much who created man. But so their church, their whole doctrine now is based on man's spirit. And that is pretty much...
I don't think that's true. I'm just saying, I think a lot of people would say, no, that's... We still pretty much say that it's about man, it's not the spirit.
The church says the spirit because they know.
And
we actually have I think it's 1 or 2 genes in us that don't belong in us. Also,
well, I mentioned this before. There was something in the Post talked about this alien genes or something. So,
it's not their gene. It's their gene. What they
I understand it. So do you think
we used to? If you look in the Bible, you would see that Adam, Noah, all the in the pre-Bible, the Old Testament, mankind lived 600, 700, 800 years, and that's how much that was our lifespan. About 600, 700 years.
Mankind lived to be mankind. We Homo sapiens lived to be 600 years.
Yes, if you look in the Bible, it tells you how long Adam lived, Noah lived,
what happened?
Abraham lived. What happened was when they built the when they built the Tower of Babel,
right?
The Anunnaki were here, and they realized that we were getting to be we are them basically. Smaller.
So what happened? We built the Tower of Babel.
They actually changed they said they did the language, but what they did was they didn't want us living as long as that.
Wait a minute, because
they knew.
So let me explain.
They capped our genes for 120 years.
So some guy 600 years says, in order to show our faith to God or our fidelity or whatever fealty. We're going to build this tower. God was upset with that, right? Or somebody was upset.
Correct.
So what happened was he said everybody's going to speak different languages, right?
That is correct. They mixed up all our languages.
So some poor guy says, "What the hell am I speaking?" Because you're Korean. I got to go to Korea? Yeah. All right. Where's Korea? I don't understand you. Okay. So somebody was lucky enough to speak the language of that area. So everybody, did they all leave? If you spoke Spanish, what did you do? Did you stay there and speak Spanish, or did you?
That I don't. I don't know. It's actually not even written how that, but they mix, and then they spread mankind at that time, which is basically the Old Testament around the world.
Let me tell you something.
I really don't. There's nothing written about that, but I do know that our life gene is capped at 120 years.
Now that I have heard that other people have that.
That is true.
That there is something to be said.
There's nobody lives. I mean, you could look every time they have somebody. Oh, she lived 113 years.
Right.
You never heard of anybody.
That is correct.
After 120.
Glenn, you were. How did you get so wise?
Well, actually, I started looking into this about in the I was married in 88, 90. My wife at that time, she knew I was very much into it. I studied it in college. I should have been an archaeologist, but I went into the family business. But I've been doing 20, 30 years of this research. Do you have
other friends of yours, compatriots, who share this knowledge?
No. When I do explain to people when they want to know,
they look at you like you're crazy.
Yeah, well, I tell them to start off with Zachariah Stitchin.
I understand that.
And I tell him to. He wrote a dozen books or so. And I said, read the easiest book that he wrote, which is called The Lost Book of Enki.
Okay.
Enki, I could give you another quick example. Enki was the first one from their world that came here, and he was a physician. His symbol, is the symbol that the physicians use today.
The caduceus.
That was his symbol.
Interesting.
And we still use it today. The planet they came from, was called Nerubai, and it was called the planet of the. I'll get a little bit religious now. That's why religion comes into this. And
that's all right. Why not?
The planet. People get upset.
No. I mean, how can I stop you when you told me all this? And say, no, don't talk about religion. No.
I know it's interesting. I suggest. Well, anyway, I was going to say that their planet is called the planet of the crossing. The symbol is the cross.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
And I could get into religion. It's called the 12th planets because their planet.
Glenn, let me ask you something. I'm just curious.
Yeah.
You have this knowledge. You've done a lot of studying. It's fascinating. But yet, you don't really, there's nobody you can talk to. There's nobody.
No.
Does your wife share this?
Absolutely no.
Really?
No, there's nobody. I do know people that are interested in it.
I'm curious. Your wife, does your wife
I do tell them to read the book.
I understand the book. I understand the book. But my question is, does your wife ever say, Glenn, enough with this stuff, please, stop it?
Well,
does she do that?
I would say about 10 years ago, my son and I were actually upstate New York on my farm, and we did. And I'm not going to say it was them, but we did see over our fields a craft. We'll just say it was a craft, and I did report it. I did report it to all the websites.
Did?
I did. And it turned out that whole week that craft was up, and it was just in that section of the.
And what do? You call the police? What did you call? I'm just curious.
Oh, there's a website that you report.
Oh, website. Oh, okay.
Yeah, you did. Yeah. If you go, I forgot the name of that way. It's a government website. You do all. Everybody reports it on there. I did report it. But,
did they ever get back with you to follow up on it? Did you?
No, they didn't do anything. No.
Hey, Glenn, I want to thank you for this. This is absolutely, positively riveting. I mean that.
It is interesting.
It's fascinating.
It is very interesting. It is. But was it Carl Sadell said, for us to be the only life in this whole universe would be a shame? I think he said something like that.
He also said, I don't know what he said. Listen, Glenn, thank you so much. You have a good day, my friend.
Let Century Management Solutions get you to your next medical appointment. They specialize in non-emergency medical transportation, connecting patients to care, safety, reliability, and on time. Their advanced technology platform seamlessly coordinates patients, healthcare providers, insurers, and transportation partners all in one powerful network. With over 200 trusted transportation providers, they deliver scalable solutions backed by real-time tracking and complete transparency. Go to SENTRYMS.com.